Who can tell me the second thing I told you we would be doing today? Let's see, who haven't I heard from today? Calvin.
Talking about procedures.
Talking about procedures.
Few professions are as demanding as teaching. Teaching means motivating students who may not be interested in learning. It means keeping a positive outlook, even on days you'd rather stay home. And it means interacting with hundreds of others every day, counseling, organizing, disciplining, leading. The teacher's world of instructional strategies and curriculum planning depends on good management.
Classroom management is commonly taken for granted, usually by those who don't know the profession very well. People who enter the profession commonly start with grave concerns about classroom management, or if they don't have grave concerns, their first few weeks in the classroom give them those concerns. It's something that you think, well, anybody can do, but it takes a great deal of skill, and there are overt strategies that you can learn, and they generally just don't come from getting older and wiser in the world. I mean, it's a real art and science to classroom management.
Now, what paper does Miss Ash want you all to use in this classroom? Loose leaf, so you don't tear it out of your spout.
Effective classroom management can help bolster student achievement, increase available instructional time, and foster student self-management skills. This program will focus on the part rules and procedures play in creating classroom management that works.
The reason for the rules and procedures is to set up, if you will, kind of standard operating procedures that students can come to expect and rely on. One underlying theme in that research and that literature is that students need structure. To give students a message that this is a place that it's safe, it's a place that's predictable, and it's a place, the nature of the business is we're here to teach and you're here to learn.
Good plan. That's why it's a good idea to carry them every day.
When somebody else is talking, what are we going to do? Yasmin?
Listen.
All right. Oh, I like the way people are remembering to come in and put their lunch away and then sit down. Boys and girls, I'm going to have you all come up and sit down on the floor now, please. We do have procedures in our classroom for the beginning and ending of the day, for our transitions from one thing to another. Oh, I like the way Cameron remembers the way to sit in group. Starting last week, almost with the first day of school, we started talking about how when people are together in groups, we need rules so that everybody knows what's expected of them and people treat each other with respect. All right, I'm going to read you a story called Hooray for Wadney Wet. There's a rule that we talked about a lot last week that we have in our class that the kids in Wadney Wet's class forgot. So after I'm all through reading it, we're going to see if you can figure out which rule it was that they forgot. I started out reading the children a book because the children in Rodney's class tease him and they make fun of him. All this teasing day in and day out made Wadney the shyest rodent in his elementary school. So I wanted them to see that when we don't follow the rules in our classroom or when we don't respect other people, it does hurt people's feelings.
Yeah, poor little guy.
Yes.
The need for rules and procedures in the classroom, it's pretty obvious. What the research strongly supports is that every teacher needs rules and procedures, but not every teacher needs the same rules and procedures. Some people put numbers on how many you should have, typically from 5 to 7.
Remember our rules right there on that chart that we talked about a lot last week? When they were teasing Wadney at the beginning, remember? Nikita, what rule do you think that they forgot?
Respect others.
Respect others. Good for you.
Studies have shown that the more students are involved in the development of rules and procedures, the more likely they are to follow them. Donna gets buy-in from her students by involving them in writing a class promise.
We're going to write a promise to each other about the way we're going to treat each other in our room this year. Joe, can you wait just a minute?
I got a question that I can't say.
All right, what's your question?
My word that I can't say is synonym. I can't.
Synonym?
I can't say it.
Oh, cinnamon, okay. Now, we're going to write our promise on this chart. Today I wanted them to say, this is the way I would like to be treated in this class, and this is the way that I promise that I will treat the other people in my class. So, I want you to think about it, but Joe, I need you to put your hand down for a minute. No, I need you to listen to me. Sometimes there are children who would just like to talk all the time at school, and so I'm trying to help them see that there are times when it's just fine for you to share things you have to say with us, and there are other times when what you have to say may not fit in with what we're doing right now, and you might just have to wait for a while. And that's why I was asking Joe to put his hand down. Let's see if you can think of some things to write in our promise to each other. Tisha, what do you think would be a good thing to write?
Well, we have to listen carefully.
All right. I think listening carefully would be a great thing to put in our promise. Darian, why do you think we might make a promise to the people in our classroom?
To respect others?
Because we respect the people in our classroom? Now, if we are showing respect, what are we going to do when somebody else is talking? Yasmin?
Listen.
We're going to listen. Do you think you can write that up here? We will listen? Okay. The first days of school are really critical, and I'm always sorry when there are children who miss those days, because some children always just feel like they're just kind of a step behind when they're not here for all that groundwork that we do those first days of school. So be thinking about the way you want to be treated in our room and about the way you think that other people should treat you. Okay?